I was in Vegas seeing Cher, and I kept going outside to smoke during the whole show.
Oh.
And the next morning, I had pneumonia, and I don't know what that was all about. But so I was in bed for a couple weeks, and I couldn't breathe, let alone smoke. And at the end of the 2 weeks, I had the Marlboros on the, or actually I was smoking Gitans, which are these French cigarettes, and I had the Gitans on the nightstand and the lighter, and I was all excited to get my first smoke in. And I thought, oh man, if I was thinking about quitting smoking, because I had been, I'm over the hump, you know.
Yeah.
So I haven't smoked since. Meeting Grover was pretty cool. Yeah.
That was the first time you met Grover.
First time I ever met a Muppet.
Yeah. He was starstruck meeting the Muppet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Most of us have some history with the Muppets and Sesame Street, and I definitely, that was like the babysitter for me when I was a kid. The last person to really call me Saul was my late grandmother.
Oh wow.
You know, so I've been called Slash since I was in high school.
Oh wow. Even so, when you meet someone, when you date someone, when you marry someone, when you're a kid, you know.
Well, I'm Saul Hudson on my driver's license, so please call me Saul.
Of course, right. Hopefully you don't get to talk to them too much.
Yeah. I've been producing horror movies, and I did one last year, and I'm working on another one now, and I want to keep excelling at that and end up making some really fantastic horror movies. I think the genre has been, I mean, there's some great stuff coming out, but there was a period there where I stopped watching them.
They sucked for a while.
Yeah, it was really bad, and so I wanted to be one of the people to sort of bring back really character-driven, story-driven, dramatic horror movies.
Slash, what was the video for November Rain actually about? After all these years and even walking down the aisle to the song, and she's not kidding, she really did this, I'm still not sure I get it.
Is that who I met earlier?
That is who you met. That is her right there.
All right, you know what, to tell you the truth, I have no idea. Well, it was a concept. I mean, the song itself is pretty self-explanatory, but the video is so complex. And I remember, when Axl was writing it, it was so epic, it was like a movie. And I, not being a huge fan of videos and making videos especially, I just showed up for my scenes. I write my own scene, and this is what I want to do in my section. I never paid attention to the rest of the whole production, so at the end of the day, I never really knew. I knew there was a wedding in there somewhere, and I was not into the concept of the wedding.
Really?
And frowned upon it. Yeah.
Really? Why?
I don't know. Just because that seemed to me like what I would do, I guess,
What's the nerdiest thing about you?
I don't know. Miles thinks I'm a nerd because I read a lot. So,
really?
I mean, because we're on the road all the time, so you take a lot of books with you and you just sort of kill time, read. So he thinks that's pretty nerdy. A lot of horror stuff, lately there's been a lot of World War II stuff that, because I never studied that in school. And, some courtroom drama stuff,
What's Slash like at home? What's Slash like as father? Slash like as
pretty laid back.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty easygoing. I mean, when I'm home, I like to stay home. I'm a homebody. I don't like to go out when I'm home. I take the kids wherever they want to go. But as far as like being out on the town in LA, it's not my thing. My very first guitar was a Spanish flamenco acoustic. And my grandmother gave it to me. Yeah, and it had one string on it when I first started learning songs on the one string because I didn't know how to put the other 5 on. And that was the guitar I learned on. I finally did learn how to put the other 5 strings on.
They want to know about your hair.
Yeah.
Would you ever cut it?
You know what? In the summertime, every year it gets so hot that you start thinking, I just want to cut it. But then it never happens.
Is it like, this is just who I am at this point?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine walking around with really short hair. It would feel weird.
Yes. I never change. Yeah. Really. Never change any of this, never change the coolness, and never change the music, man. I'm really grateful.
I don't think that's going to happen. All right, cheers.
All right, brother.